Welcome everyone, my name is Josh, and this is Get Bricked. Now today I'm really excited because we're going to be checking out something from Mega Construx. This is the Pokemon line, the Kanto Partners. Now with this set, I just happened to be out shopping and I stumbled across it, and when I saw this, it just hit me right in the feels because this is the original Pokemon that I know and love from when I was growing up, and I just thought I had to grab it to see how they looked. And with this set, of course, you do get the three starters. You get Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle, as well as the fourth unofficial starter, Pikachu, which, thinking about it now, he might be the fourth official starter now. But either way, I'm really excited to see how these guys look because they look like maybe they're about the size of a minifigure, maybe a little bit larger, but they do look posable. So I'm excited, so let's just jump right on in and see how these ones look together. So here is the completed Pokemon from the Kanto region. This is the Kanto Partners. Now this set was a lot of fun to build, and I have to say no extra pieces to speak of, but they did give you just enough pieces that you could get all of them built. So a little bit tight there. Would have been nice to see a couple of additional pieces for some of the smaller pieces, just in case you do happen to lose them. But with this set, we do get Bulbasaur rocking the Vine Whips. We get Charmander with the flaming tail. We get Squirtle. Looks like he's got a bit of a bubble there on the tail. And then finally, we get the main mascot for Pokemon. We get Pikachu. Now, this set was a lot of fun to build. All of them include printed pieces. There was no stickers we had to worry about applying here. So I'm a huge fan of that. But let's just jump right on in and see what they look like close up. So first up, we have Bulbasaur, the grass Pokemon. Now this set was a lot of fun and is probably the most interesting build from this set because it's the only Pokemon that's a four-legged creature. All of the other ones are two-legged creatures. So this one was a lot of fun, and you do get the bulb on the back there as well as the Vine Whips. So it's the only one that has an additional attack feature, but it also is the one that does have, seems like, the most amount of printed pieces. Because you get all four of the legs with printed pieces, as well as a couple prints on the back, and then you get the nice large face print for Bulbasaur as well. The only downside, though, is that there's not really any posability you can get with the head, so it's kind of just stuck in that position, which is a little unfortunate, but it's still a pretty nice set overall. Next up, we get the fire Pokemon, Charmander. With Charmander, you do get the printed headpiece with him giving a bit of a wink and a smile there. So not too bad, and this was one of my favorite Pokemon when I first started playing. Of course, being my favorite color is red, and this happens to be the fire Pokemon, of course, go figure. Now this one was a lot of fun and is the first of the two-legged creatures that we got to build from this set. Now with this one, we still get a decent amount of posability with the arms, but they seem like they sacrificed some of the posability in the legs because they were going with the shorter style. And instead they give you the ball joint in the head, as well as a bit of posability you can have in the tail as well. A little bit less posable in the legs because it does have the smaller legs that can't really do much. They just kind of move a little bit in and out, but no front to back or twisting or anything like that. And you also do get the foot pieces that, if you notice, I did kind of miss originally, but we did manage to get those on there. And this one was a lot of fun, but it seems like they did sacrifice a little bit in the joints to give you the head joint, but unfortunately you did lose out on the feet being able to move around a bit. But it is a nice figure represented in this scale, and it was a lot of fun building this one. And the print that you do get for the face is nice with him just sitting there giving like a nice little wink. Following that, we have Squirtle, the water Pokemon. Now, this one is very similar to the Charmander. This one, basically almost all of the same pieces, just slightly different style. And we do get, again, the nice print on the head there with like a small smile going on there. It would have been great if you could get a version of that where it's got like the sunglasses from Cool Squirtle from the Squirtle gang. But a nice print that you do get there. And this one does include a print on the stomach as well as on the shell on the back. So nice detailing there, but other than that, very similar to the Charmander. Now, just like with Charmander, you do get a decent amount of posability with the figure because you do get the head with a ball joint on there and then the two arms with ball joints as well, but very limited in the foot movement, just like with Charmander. You can move them kind of side to side, but you can't really move them up and down or anything like that. So they're kind of more or less locked in place. Now you do get a very similar kind of tail, just like with Charmander, where instead of the flame, you get more of like a bubble on the end of the tail. But Squirtle looks really nice, especially with the shell, adding that a little extra detailing in there. And last but not least, we finally get to the big mascot himself. We get Pikachu. Now, Pikachu here with a great print on the front there with the smile, really, really happy face there. But you also do get the printed earpieces, as well as the back does have a print there with a couple of lines on there. And so that's really nice that they even added that little bit of additional detail. But other than that, this set is very similar, mostly to the Squirtle because it has the same kind of back piece and the same front as well, just less printed on the front. But you also get a slightly different kind of tail, very similar starting kind of style to the other ones, but in this case, it's more of a brick-built tail to give it the lightning effect. And with Pikachu, you get the same basic posability as you do with the Charmander and the Squirtle. The arms are very posable on the ball joints. You get the head on the ball joint. But with Pikachu, because he's always had really small legs in the animes and in the games, he actually does not have a foot piece attached on there. It's just a small little rounded piece. Kind of similar style to the back legs for Bulbasaur as well. But it's still a nice representation of Pikachu done up in the same kind of scale as the rest of the figures. And here they are together, the Pokemon from the Kanto region, all of the starters. Now, they do look really nice together as a completed set. And if you were going to have just a couple of figures to kind of play around with or just have on display, it's not bad for the scale that you do get and the amount of detail you get. And I'd have to say one of the absolute pluses is that you don't have to worry about any stickers. All of these were printed pieces. So that's a nice touch, and the fact that you don't have to worry about stickers is really nice. And there's not really any extra pieces that you have to worry about, but unfortunately, if you lose pieces, you're going to be kind of stuck because you won't have anything to replace it with, especially some of the smaller pieces, so that might be a bit of a downside for some people. But I'd have to say one of the downsides is that with the way that they're built, you do limit some of the posability, and you also do see some gaps here and there with the way that they've included the ball joints, so it doesn't hide it very well on all of them. But because you do get ball joints, they are actually fairly posable, and so you can get them into some different positions and kind of show them off here. As you'll see, we'll throw up a couple of matches of the Pokemon squaring off, doing a couple of moves and like kind of moving around the arena as if they were in a fight. I think from this set, the Bulbasaur is probably my favorite looking one because of the way that they have it and the amount of detail you get with that one and just how many printed pieces. But all in all, these figures are really nice, so I may have to look into getting some of the other sets because I know they have some of these in bigger sets as well. I've seen like the Blastoise and a couple of other figures that they've included, and a couple smaller ones of this kind of scale as well. So we'll have to take a look and see if we can find any more of those. But let me know in the comments down below, what was your favorite build from this set from the Kanto region? Or are you a fan of some starters from some of the other generations? And are there sets available? Should I pick those up? Or should I take a look at some of the bigger sets? Because I'm sure some of them have an interesting build with a different style of builds that the Mega Construx does. But let me know that in the comments, and also let me know what's your favorite Pokemon, just in general. Which generation are you a fan of? Now make sure you guys like and subscribe, it'll really help out the channel, and make sure you get that bell on so you guys can stay up to date whenever we release new videos for the channel. Now, before you guys go out and jump into your next Pokemon battle, whether it's in an arena or in the wild, just make sure to tell everyone that you just got bricked.